I used to believe that if I set my mind to something, no matter how impossible it seemed, I could achieve it. I thought if I wanted to, I could make it to the NBA because I believed in my own limitless potential. People doubted me, but I held on to the idea that I could do anything if I truly committed. That belief fueled my drive to push beyond what others thought possible. I became an up-and-coming fighter, convinced that with enough determination I would one day make it to the UFC. I had no doubt that my future held greatness. I started from humble beginnings, just like the first office of Amazon. Every great journey begins at a simple desk, with a vision and relentless work. In July 1945, the world witnessed a record-breaking mile run, 4 minutes and 1.2 seconds. It shattered what people thought was possible. For years, everyone believed there was a barrier, that running a mile in under 4 minutes was physically impossible. Scientists claimed the human body simply couldn't run that fast, that the heart would give out before the finish line. But limits exist only in the mind. Even experts said it was impossible. But I learned that breakthroughs happen when you refuse to accept those limits. They said the heart would explode before reaching the finish, but history proved them wrong. Roger Bannister, a medical student, believed otherwise. On May 6, 1954, he broke the 4-minute mile, showing the world what belief and effort can achieve. He knew there was no brick wall. If someone could run it in 4 minutes and 2 seconds, then with better training, someone else could go even faster. And just 2 months later, 22 more people broke the record. For 9 years no one could do it, but once it was done, everyone realized it was possible. Today, the world record is 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Far beyond what was once thought impossible. The only real barrier was belief. Every impossible goal is just waiting for someone to prove it can be done. As a kid, I heard stories and songs about big dreams. We all had them, dreams of being astronauts, athletes, or actors. When asked what we wanted to be, we aimed high, unafraid to dream big. But as we grow older, we're told to lower our standards, to be realistic. Most people are discouraged from chasing their dreams, yet some people have a fire inside them. I wonder how many never reach their potential because they listened to those who said they couldn't. Bill Gates is worth billions today, a testament to what relentless pursuit can achieve. Even if you took away 99% of his wealth, he'd still have more than most could ever imagine. Just 1% of his fortune is more than 500 times what the average person will earn in a lifetime. No matter what you think of him, Bill Gates achieved greatness through vision and effort. He even joked about leaping over chairs because he believed in pushing limits. But how does one person who started with nothing handed to them end up wealthier than entire countries? At age 12, Bill's parents sent him to Lakeside, a private school that changed his life. There he gained access to one of the only computers in the world at the time, a rare opportunity that sparked his passion. Alongside Paul Allen, he began experimenting with code, discovering a love for programming that would shape his future. They were discouraged from spending time on computers, told to focus on more practical pursuits, but true passion can't be contained. Bill went to college to study law, following the expected path, but his heart remained with computers. He spent his spare time reading about technology, fascinated by the possibilities. One night in January 1975, he stumbled upon an idea that would change everything. As he read, inspiration struck. A vision for the future was born. That idea belonged to Bill Gates, who would become the chairman of Microsoft. That single idea grew into one of the most recognizable companies in the world. Just 8 months later, Bill Gates and Paul Allen dropped out of college to build Microsoft, dedicating themselves fully to their vision. Over the next 50 years, they built an empire, turning their dreams into reality. Last year alone, Microsoft turned over $88 billion in profit, a testament to what relentless pursuit can achieve. Bill's story is remarkable. From the outside, it looks like luck. Born into an upper-middle-class family, access to rare technology, he had opportunities few others did, but that alone doesn't explain his success. Luck played a part, but Bill built everything himself. He made the most of every opportunity. He was an incredibly hard worker. If you were working on code, you finished it. No excuses, no sleep. Bill was in the office 7 days a week, up to 18 hours a day, driven by his vision. He didn't believe in weekends or vacations, just the mission. From age 20 to 30, Bill and Paul didn't take a single weekend off. Their dedication was absolute. He never received a penny from his parents to fund Microsoft. The business lost money for the first 5 years. In fact, the business was losing money for years before it found success. Luck was involved, no doubt. He was in the right place at the right time, but he also put in more work than anyone else. Success wouldn't exist without both parts, opportunity and relentless effort. We like to think the world is linear, that things happen in a straight line, but that's rarely true. Most of the time, things happen randomly, and success is often exponential. There are a few lucky moments that change everything forever. For example, Microsoft was losing money for years, but one breakthrough changed their fate. In 1980, they made a deal with IBM, and that was their first real breakthrough. That deal introduced Microsoft to millions of computers, opening the door to massive success. Suddenly their work was everywhere, and the world took notice. People talk about overnight success, but what they don't see are the years of struggle and failure that come before it. Any success I've achieved came after years of nothing working out, of pushing through setbacks. With enough time and effort, things start to become inevitable. Luck is involved, and you need to be in the right place at the right time. But you also have to be ready when the moment comes. In a lifetime, it's almost impossible not to get lucky at least once. The key is to be prepared for that moment. Quentin Tarantino is a perfect example. He spent years with nothing working out, but he never gave up. He endured 8 years of struggle before his breakthrough finally came. When success arrived, it seemed overnight, but it was built on years of persistence. His first feature film made a $1.7 million profit on a $1.2 million budget, a result of relentless effort. Logically, it would have made sense to quit after 4 or 5 years, but he kept going. What he was doing wasn't working until it did. Because he was delusional enough to believe in himself, he put himself in a position where success became inevitable. That belief is what carried him through adversity. He wasn't born with the ability to make great films. It was years of struggle that developed his talent. 8 years of nothing working out made him into a great filmmaker. Because he stuck around, he was in the right place at the right time when opportunity finally arrived. If you have one dream and commit to it for a decade, I truly believe it will eventually work out. The hardest part is believing that, which is why so many give up too soon. Success rates are low because people struggle to believe in the process and change direction before they ever arrive. The journey is long, and most never see it through. Many change paths just before their breakthrough, never realizing how close they were. Success could come next week or in 30 years, you never know. But you only get one life, so go after what you truly want. At the end of the day, you have to pursue your real desires because this is your only shot. It takes a bit of delusion to keep going for that long, to keep believing when nothing seems to happen. Most likely nothing will happen for a very long time, but eventually it will. Those who stick around long enough will discover the truth of that. I spent countless hours practicing, even in the elevator of my dorm, determined to improve. There were times when my head would spin, when I'd forget my lines, but I kept going. I'd lose my place, stumble through jokes, but I never stopped trying. Sometimes I had no idea what was coming next, but I kept moving forward. Even after tough days, I'd go home at night and tell myself, I'm going to be great at this. I didn't know what it was, but I believed I would become truly good at my craft. Some might call it crazy, but sometimes a little bit of delusion is what you need. Delusional thinking can carry you far. Once you develop some skill, it becomes your secret weapon. That delusion is like a guardian, protecting you while you develop real talent. That's how you make it in anything, by believing in yourself, even when no one else does. You have to be a little delusional to achieve greatness. Yes, you do.